There is never respite, not on earth. Now the man saying those words wears gold, but his heart is stone. He's a king in a city of towers and dust, master of all he sees, prisoner of everything he feels. Welcome back to the Past Life Archives. I'm Kylie King, a hypnotherapist and past life regressionist. And today's story takes us back thousands of years to a life of glory and silence. As always, my clients' names and details have been changed for privacy. This is the king who couldn't feel. When I guided my client into trance, the first thing she saw was just sand. Endless, blinding white gold sand, leading towards walls the color of fire. And she whispered, "It's Babylon. There are gardens on the rooftops and water running from stone mouths." Inside those walls stood a temple for the gods. Doves cycling in spire. In the courtyard, waiting for the king, a named man, Ashar. Tall, bearded, wrapped in embroidered linen. Guards line the stairs, and no one meets his eyes. She remarked on this gentleman. "He's strong," she said, "but there's a grief behind his eyes. The grief, however, it's older than this life." So as we moved through different scenes, we noticed that ritual filled every hour of his day. There was judgments to be made, there was treaties to be done, there was offerings. He ruled with discipline, but with intellect. But the palace still echoed with emptiness. No laughter, no music. My client murmured, "He believes showing affection is weakness, and he wears his crown like armor." Ashar's wife died young. He raised their son through servants and scrolls. He fed his people, but never himself. He could command armies, yet when his son reached out to hold his hand, he immediately pulled away. Caring feels dangerous if he feels he'll collapse. What an interesting way. Like, what a whole bunch of stuff this king, this Ashar, is holding. Years passed, and a plague struck. The sick filled the courtyards, and for the first time the king left his throne room. He walked among them. They was thin and they were veiled and trembling, afraid of the air. And he walked among them holding a clay bowl of water. And a child reached for it, and he hesitated. And then he offered the bowl. And the child, although feverish and although ill, smiled. And in that moment, his heart cracks open. Not long after, unfortunately, the plague took his son. And Ashar locked himself inside the palace, refusing to eat, surrounded by scrolls of laws that no longer mattered. My client said, "No one comes." He wrote rules for everything except for grief. Ashar ended up dying alone, seated upright at the base of his temple, crown still on, like the armor that he wore. His last thought was not of power, but of everything he never said. After death, life expanded around him. White marble steps, cool air, the sound of rushing water. And he looked at his hands and he cried. And he said, "They're clean. No more blood, no more gold. He just wants to touch someone without fear. And he saw a boy running ahead of him into the light. And the child turned and smiled. My client said to me, Ashar gets it now. He understands now that love is strength. Responsibility without heart is emptiness. So I was intrigued as to why this past life surfaced and why Ashar came forward to share with my client his journey. And when I asked why this lifetime had surfaced, and her higher self spoke calmly and said, this client buried her heart behind structure and achievement. It is time to lead with love, not to lead to prove worth. And I think that's such an important message. And that's why I'm sharing it with you today. Leadership isn't a sin. However, disconnection is. In this life that my client was currently living, she'd built a career exactly the way that she thought was necessary. She was always strong, she was always productive, but she was rarely vulnerable. The king, Ashar, had buried tenderness, was happening again. It was just wearing modern clothes. So I often tell clients that high achievement and deep sensitivity are rarely opposites, right? They're balances waiting to be remembered. Ashar's life showed both the brilliance of control and the hollowness of perfection. He believed a king must not feel until loss taught him that. And that feeling was true sovereignty when he realized that. So if you too are carrying the weight of being the strong one, the parent, the manager, the healer, the leader, all of that, please remember this. Strength without softness turns to stone. Love felt openly is the only throne that lasts. And maybe that's why his soul sent this memory now. A reminder that the crown isn't meant to shield the heart. It's meant to amplify it. Thank you for listening to the Past Life Archives. If this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing what lessons stood out to you. I look forward to sharing more of these episodes with you every week. And if there's a topic that you would like me to cover or a certain life you'd like me to see if I've explored, please drop it below in the comments and I can put it up as an upcoming episode. Thank you.